We all make choices. But in the end, our choices make us. So choose wisely. Subscribe to It's Erik Nagel wherever podcasts are found. And leave a positive review, won't you kindly? It's Erik Nagel. It starts now.
What up, my Nagel? 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 Talking about George R.R. Martin, not writing. Talking Marvel versus DC, who's more exciting? Talking George Lucas's legacy, high-scoring centipede. Talking Gittles' new beef burrito recipe. Talking about Stephanie McMahon versus Sable. Talking about the Cybermen versus the Weeping Angels. Don't blink, the dialect's more deadly than you think. Talking summer ale, blueberry pale, craft beer, pouring drinks. What up, my Nagel? Deadpool 2 features cable. Talking Funko Pop, celebrity signed a label. Talking online gaming, bitchin' ain't complaining. Talking E-Rock, kissing the feet of Matt Groening. Warner Brothers properties, Superman's a mockery. Weird Al concerts, Kevin Smith's debauchery. Rick and Morty fun zone. The Lego build team, can I have your attention? Possible Donkey Kong kill screen. What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel?
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
It's Erik Nagel.
Welcome to another edition of It's Erik Nagel. That is myself. Over to the right there is Matt O.G.
Hello.
In the upside down, joining us is Gittles.
What up?
And returning from his sabbatical is our producer, Trevor.
Hooray.
Trevor Endeavor, whatever. Everybody.
You keep going back to the one that you want.
I like Trevor Endeavor, but other people online keep calling you Trev Dever.
No, it's Trevs and Devs.
Trevs and Devs?
Yeah, Trevs.
I have
and
a
Devs.
lot of alter egos that all sound the same.
All right. Well, he's
Just
here
call him
too.
Travis.
If you call me Travis, I'm going to punch you in the gullet.
Do people call
Yeah,
you
you gotta
Travis?
come into the upside down, buddy.
Ever since I was a kid, I always got Travis, and it pissed me off. Like, people couldn't figure out how to say Trevor. And then anyone who's had a dumb kid who couldn't say Trevor. Treasure? No.
No.
Treasure?
Yeah. You stupid second grader.
That would be like, people would always get my name wrong too. They'd be like, "What's your name, Brian?" They're like, "No, it's Shithead." I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
My kid calls you Skittles.
Stop talking back to me.
That
You're right,
is
Dad. Well, anyway, welcome to the program. Lots to talk about, lots to do as always, but before we get into all of that, I'm smelling something delicious over there that Trevor brought in for the show today. What do we have?
We have the, well, I don't know if it's new per se.
Okay.
It is the Taco Bell Naked Chalupa.
Ah, right. These just came out, right?
Yeah.
But it's not really naked, though.
Well, what
Like,
it is...
feel
why
like
is it
it's
called
wearing-
naked? Like, wouldn't that just be a bunch of shit in a cup?
Well, that's the thing. There's no taco shell. It's the naked chicken. My bad. Naked chicken chalupa. So there's a chicken breast as the shell instead of an actual shell.
So they're
But
ripping off
it's-
KFC.
But it's a fried chicken breast. So to me, it's not naked. It's kind of like the
These are the
equivalent
same?
of seeing a
No.
girl in body paint.
Wait, hold on a second. Didn't they have this already?
Yes,
Is
this originally came out in January 2017, just the regular. Now they're doing regular chicken breast and a buffalo chicken breast.
Oh, because I liked the one I had last year. It was basically a folded chicken finger with lettuce in the middle, and I was like, "This is everything I need."
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and I don't know if it's the good lettuce, so we might get E. coli.
Nice.
Yeah, they can't afford the lettuce that can give us E. coli.
Nice.
Like, that's romaine. That shit's expensive.
So what do I have here in my hands?
You
What are
have
these?
both the mild and the wild.
Ooh, mild.
Let me tell you something.
If it's
Taco Bell
unmarked,
fire
it's the
sauce
regular.
is
Yeah.
not that hot.
Do we have any sauce?
But they have an upgrade from fire sauce now.
What is it? Oh, the Diablo sauce? or
Diablo
whatever?
sauce.
Ah, Diablo sauce for all. Right there.
Diablo!
A nice
How is it?
Diablo sandwich.
What?
Do we have anything that's not Diablo sauce?
No, because you know what I do is I take this. It's my secret ingredient in my Chipotle sour cream for my steak and eggs.
Have you seen that? Have
So you
seen
go to
that?
Taco Bell just to get their sauce to then go to Chipotle?
I'll go and get the $1 wrap and then
That is
about
not
40
so
packets.
unusual because I would buy the bottles of Taco Bell sauce and keep them up at work.
Wait, like the Kraft ones? Because those are kind of crappy.
No, the Taco Bell
Okay.
sauce themselves, they would have them. They sell them in bottles in the supermarket, Walmart. You can get them.
Really?
Yeah, they have mild and the hot. So we'd have the hot, and then like if Travis and I went down to
Travis.
Chipotle,
It's Trevor.
No, this back then was Travis. When we go down to Chipotle, I wouldn't get their sauces on it. I would bring it back up the burrito bowl, and then you put the Taco Bell sauce on it, and it makes it delicious.
Kraft has a sponsorship with Taco Bell, and they do like the creamier sauces.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's absolutely garbage.
All you got to do is get the Diablo sauce. Get like 3 or 4 packets of it, and then one of those little like 8-ounce sour creams, and you just put it into there, and you mix it up, and you have like the best like Chipotle crack sauce. It's so good.
I do that, but then I add the Heinz Memphis Sweet Barbecue.
That's just
yes. Those Heinz barbecue sauces are no joke.
I know. I tried them because of you, and that's the best one. Is the Memphis one by far. But
the Memphis one's good. I have the
Kentucky one's all right too.
Do I have the Memphis one? I think maybe I have the Memphis one up there.
Have you seen the fast food the meme going around this week?
Yes.
I don't think I have. Which one?
I will. Can you see the screen?
Oh yes, that is very good.
I have not. I will see this.
It's like art from Dungeons and Dragons, where it's a warrior trying to slay a dragon who's standing over a pile of gold. In the caption, it says "you." The dragon says fast food restaurant, and then the pile of gold says extra dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Well, that goes with my theory that I've always said. You can always tell the type of neighborhood that you're in based on how
whether or not they charge you for the
how they
dipping
treat
sauce.
you at the drive-through window. So if they're like, he's like, can I get a ketchup? And if they ask you how many ketchup,
I'm sorry, what?
they're real. Yeah, they've asked.
No, wait.
Places.
What is it?
Ketchup.
That's not what you said.
What did I say?
You said ketchup.
He did say ketchup.
You said ketchup.
You did say ketchup.
He was combining catsup and ketchup.
Gittles, can you solve my ketchup problem?
Yeah, I can. It's called ketchup.
Yes.
It's called Heinz.
They'll ask you how many you want, or if you say, I have you got like a 10-piece chicken nuggets, could I get the barbecue sauce or the hot mustard? And
That's
they give
gonna be
you one,
25
and I'm like, could I get it? Yeah, exactly. Can I get another one? Well, that's going to be another 10 to 25 cents. They're like, what's going on in this neighborhood that they're holding up? Because it's either a bad neighborhood or old people. Because old people will steal anything that's not that. They'll steal salt and pepper shakers. They'll empty the napkin dispensers. They'll take handfuls of straws, equal, sweet and low. We're like gold to those people.
I was in a mall.
The rolls? They want you to take the rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the mall in the Jersey,
totally tall.
the Jersey Gardens one, the Jersey Garden Mills or whatever it was.
Right.
The outlet one that was in Elizabeth over there. And I saw an old lady. So that food court in that mall is like, it's that one company that owns like, they own like
or whatever.
10 of the food court stands.
Oh,
They
I know what
own
you're
like
talking about, yeah.
they own the bourbon chicken stand. They own the Chinese food stand, the Nathan's, like they own all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and you go in the back and it says like all 4 different sauces and it comes to one funnel.
Yeah, right.
It's like
But so what they do is they have like these little areas set up with, you know, like buckets of sauce and napkins, and so for all of those vendors, you go to one spot to get your condiments.
Yes.
And I saw some old woman fill up her purse with the duck sauce packets. Like she wiped it out, like 2 handfuls, just scooped them into her purse and then walked away.
I might have a bag in my car of all this Diablo sauce. But
this is good.
Do you guys keep the sauces? Like, do you have like a sauce drawer at your house?
I do.
I did.
I had Tupperware containers in the fridge that would have like one would be the duck sauce, one would be soy sauce, and then the other would be miscellaneous sauces from wherever else.
Okay, yeah, because my wife gives me so much crap about it. She's like, "Can we throw these out?" I'm like, "No, I might want the Szechuan sauce a year from now and not remember what it tastes like."
Right.
And I
who
have
knows what it might be worth then.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm investing into our child's future that we don't have.
exactly.
I throw out soy sauce.
Yeah, it's too salty.
And I throw out, I throw out soy sauce and I throw out duck sauce because I actually have those just in my refrigerator.
Yeah,
because I cook with them or I use them
same.
for various things.
I won't throw anything.
I want to
away.
point something out that you know, when you realize age is a bitch.
Yeah.
I always, for my entire life, had that Tupperware container in the fridge that had all the soy sauce packets.
Oh, in the fridge?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You just keep that in any drawer in your
No,
kitchen.
I have
Yeah, but
them
if
all
you
in the
keep it in
back
the
of the
drawer, when
fridge.
you open up the ketchup packet after a couple years, it's just kind of brown.
Yeah.
No, it's aged. It's like it's really good. It's like a wine.
Fine wine.
And it gets its flavor from the nice foil package that it's
babe,
in.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we out of ketchup? No, just go to the drawer. It's next to the nut and bolt and my Mickey Mouse pencil from when I was 2.
Yeah, like you know when it's ready, when the pouch is like gonna explode if you touch it. That's when you know it's good.
Like when you have gas in a plastic container in your garage, and you gotta constantly let the air out because else that thing's gonna explode.
Yeah, that's when you know it's ready.
But with
You're supposed to do that?
with the well, if you have a metal container, it's fine. But if you have those big bulky red gas cans that you can get from like Home Depot or something like that, even if you only have like a quarter or half of that thing filled, the air's got to go somewhere, and you'll see that it starts bulbing out. You got to go over and open it up and let the air out of it, and then close it back up again, or else that thing's going to explode.
Or write myself a note.
The truth is, you shouldn't keep gas that long anyway. I never have to worry about it because I just use it.
Well, I have gas left over from the winter for the snowblower, and I'm thinking, where am I going to dump this?
Yeah, I was gonna say just
on a fire.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
fire in the park.
Yeah,
not
not
in
in the park.
Oh, not in the park. You're right. Not in the park.
In the street, maybe.
Anywho, the soy sauce. So you go to have the soy sauce, and for some reason, because you get older, it's like you always wondered when people say, "Oh no, it's too salty for me," and they always have the bottled soy sauce that says 1/3 sodium.
The green one.
And like, why are you wasting your time with that? And then you start realizing, oh, I'm at that point in my life where regular Chinese food soy sauce is just way too much for me.
But
now.
see, here's the thing. The truth is, you've been at that point in your life your entire life, and you just no longer can handle it.
Yeah, I know. When I was
if you
12,
started with the 1/3 sodium soy sauce,
I didn't care about the bloat.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, belt's a little tight.
Yeah,
I had General Tso's.
yeah.
Let me tell you something though, like the lower sodium shit, like I don't like it. I would rather have the extra sodium and just use less of it, because I've bought like the Kikkoman like low sodium shit and done my same marinades that I do. They come out completely different. Like the taste is different, the consistency is different.
Oh yeah.
Well,
like because it's like a thicker sauce because they have to put other like emulsifiers and shit. And I remember I was pouring out, I was like, why is this teriyaki so thick? And it was almost like sugary. It was weird.
Well, if you're buying the lower sodium, you have to. You have to put salt back in it anyway.
Yeah.
If you want to get the
but
flavor
like it gave
right.
it like a bad taste, not like a missing salt taste. They gave it like a chemical taste.
Like a chemical
it was
taste?
really weird. But yeah, I don't know.
No.
I tried this. I guess it's the spicy one.
Yeah, if it had a marking on it, it was the wild.
Oh, then what is this one?
Wild and crazy
Is that
guy.
the wild one?
Yep, that's the
Oh,
wild.
then
one.
I didn't have the wild one.
Oh, I started wild. Did you go wild?
Wild West.
I had the regular
Love
one
that
then,
movie.
with the Diablo sauce. This is what I've been missing.
I'm sorry. Did you just say you loved Wild Wild West?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry for you, but that's okay.
I love anything Will Smith does. I mean, I'm a little sad for him that he passed up the Matrix for it, but
no,
Wild Wild West could be one of the worst movies that has ever been.
It is.
no, that's
That's
Ben
why it's so
Affleck's
good.
Daredevil.
It had a
and
great song.
See, and I like Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
It had a
was-
great song,
no.
a horrible movie, and an awesome South Park parody. That's what you got from
The
Wild Wild
best
West.
thing that came out of
had
Wild
that on
Wild West
cassette.
is the first evening with Kevin Smith, where he tells the story about the guy that was going to direct Superman based on Kevin's script.
Oh, right.
And how it was whoever it was that directed Wild Wild West, and he wanted to put a giant spider in the Superman movie, and then he didn't get Superman, so the giant spider ended up in Wild Wild West. That's the best thing to come out of Wild Wild West. Sorry.
That's so awesome. Like some guy walking out, man, we got to use this spider in something. Charlotte's
Wild
Web,
Wild
no,
West.
too
Barry
close.
Sonnenfeld was the
There you go.
director.
There you go.
All right. We'll have to tie into Will Smith a little bit later when we talk about Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Because he's a part of that. I
Yes.
didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
But anyway,
He
so
has to be by proxy,
Yeah,
but
he's
we'll
the
talk
bad
about
guy.
that.
I tried the original Naked Chalupa taco here with the Diablo sauce, which I got to start using this because I just
That's
use
it,
the
man.
hot, and even though the hot's not really hot or fire, what's the other one?
It
below?
goes
Fire is the one
medium,
below that.
Okay, so
hot,
the fire
fire.
sauce is okay. This one is actually lingering a little bit, and I'm liking it.
I'll tell you which Taco Bell sauce I missed. You remember, was it 2 years ago where they had the
When Mulan came out?
No, that was like 50 years ago. No, Taco Bell had all those weird sauces. Like there was the one in the green package.
the Verde.
Yeah, and then there was.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that.
There was the fire roasted one. It was in the maroon.
Yeah, that
package.
was good.
That was amazing shit.
That one was good.
But now you can buy what's the hot sauce that comes with the little wooden screw on top?
Oh, Cholula.
Cholula.
Yeah.
Cholula sells a fire roasted. That's really close to. That's really good.
Cholula's smoky chipotle is probably my favorite of like the hot sauces that's not Frank's.
Right, so what
'Cause,
I
like,
do
Frank's
is-
is like the best.
So what I do is when I go to Chipotle, if I see that they have a bottle of the fire roasted, I just take the whole bottle when I leave.
What are you, Roland? Roland
It's there for me to consume.
Roland used to double fist both bottles. Like we'd sit there and he'll go, "I'll be a minute," and then he's just loading napkins and stuff at the little condiment bar when you leave the counter from Chipotle, and then those bottles just wind up in his bag. And at one point, I think he had 6 or 7 bottles in the cabinet above his.
So
desk.
here's the thing: I don't take it if I'm eating in, but if I'm taking the Chipotle home with me, if I'm picking it up and going back home with me, I'm not putting it in one of those little fucking cups where the lid is going to fall off.
Oh, and then
Halfway
soaks through the
home.
bag, and then it falls through the bag. Like, nope.
Right. It's going to get all over my car. It's going to go all over my fancy
And
pants.
that's what happens if you go to Five Guys and you take
fancy
the malt
pants.
vinegar home for the fries.
Right.
It always falls.
It
off.
always falls out. It's fucking. So I just take the whole bottle.
Yeah, I definitely have at least 2 bottles of malt vinegar in my cabinet.
You
Thanks,
do not-
Five Guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's there for me to consume. I just assume it's okay if I consume it.
I look at
didn't
that
eat
as a showing of age. Like, I just remember that Boy Meets World episode. What? They want you to take the rolls. Like, he's just putting it all. They take everything.
But I
old
would
people
not,
take everything.
That is literally the only thing that I take. Is
doesn't
that
matter.
is that
It's
sauce.
a gateway sauce.
Oh my god!
I love how we just railed against old people for taking everything not nailed down, and then we're like, yeah, I took the Chipotle. I take the malt vinegar.
Listen, I'm not stealing
like
duck.
4 seconds later.
I'm not stealing duck sauce. No, the old people that take shit like the duck sauce packets, they're not even buying the food. They're literally just going grocery shopping at the condiment stand. I'm at least walking out of Chipotle with a couple of burritos, a few tacos, a bowl. I probably will legit use half the bottle on my meal. So it's like
You're not allowed to come to my house. I'm going to start losing the stuff that I steal.
I just finished the spicy one. It's really good.
So
I don't know if I would ever get this again, but
I don't think I'd get it again.
for
Only
tasting it, it tastes pretty good.
I'm thinking it's because I've had it for like an hour.
Can you
but
throw that in the bag there, please?
sure.
Thank you.
And I guess I'll take the
Did
good
you try
sauce.
both of them?
no, I only tried one of them.
The difference seems to be, I think it's the same chicken. I think it's the sauce.
It's the sauce that's different.
Yeah.
So
So
two totally different chickens, dude. Like one's a buffalo and one's a chicken.
It's a buffalo sauce.
it's a buffalo
Gittles.
sauce, which is not how they marketed it.
Oh, is this other one mine as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah,
I got everyone too.
I'm special.
Matt's polite. Matt's the one that says when it says take one per person.
He
Matt
takes a
follows,
bottle?
Matt follows.
Yeah,
the-
one bottle.
No, Chipotle sauce. That's the exception. Look, everybody has a weakness. All right.
No. When it comes to the main food, he's very polite. He follows the rules. He takes one per person.
That's right.
The condiments is all.
That's
up for grabs.
That's fucking battle royale. I might be able to kill you with that Chipotle bottle. You don't know.
You're the guy like at the buffet line. It's like, oh, I'll have one chicken and one mozzarella stick. Oh, here's all this marinara. I'm just gonna take the whole entire bowl.
It's the whole bowl. The whole
when
bowl.
would go down to visit my parents down in the West Palm Beach area in Florida. Years ago, I went to this place called 2J's, which
Okay.
is it's supposed to be like a Jewish deli chain
All right.
for the South, right? So you walk in there and it has the feel of like a
Two
Carnegie.
Jews walk into a deli.
Well, that's why it's called 2J's because it's run by two Jewish
Yeah.
guys.
Oh my God, it's a great name.
It is.
I just connected all that.
And you walk in there and it has the feeling of a New York City style deli, like a Katz or
Sure.
Carnegie Stage Deli, things like that.
Take a number.
You walk
Which
in,
is not like a traditional New York deli in any way. Like any deli you walk into is not like Katz's or Second Avenue Deli.
correct, but it that's for show. But the food is on par with New York's because it's everything's brought down from there. So you walk in, they have the counters that you walk past before you get seated. So you're seeing the desserts, you're seeing the cold cuts, the uncured meats, all that stuff. You go and you sit down, you have your meal, and while we're eating, my mom goes, "Look at this." She goes, "Very slowly, look to your left." So I turn a little bit, I look, and there's this old lady carefully taking the cloth napkins with silverware and putting them into her bag.
Oh, grandma.
Right.
And
See,
I
now
said,
that's serious.
No, and I said, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, should we say something? She goes, no. She goes, she's not done yet. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, just give it time.
She
And
comes
then-
here every
So
week.
we're eating, right? And then I look over again, and there she goes. The little cube they give you that has all the different colored sugar packets.
Yeah.
Started going into the bag. And then she took the little cube, she put it under the table so that it wouldn't be empty on the table when you go to leave. Like, where did all the sugar
Right,
packets go?
right.
She dropped it on the floor
Oh,
under the
I
table.
thought she took the cube too.
She
Yeah, I mean,
should've.
that's
At
what
that
you
point.
do.
Yeah.
But so I was like, wow. I was like, that's amazing. And my mom said, yeah, old people are the worst. She goes, down here, they have to watch everything because old people will steal everything.
It's not screwed down.
And where my parents live is not an impoverished area
Yeah.
by any means. There's barely a middle class where they live. It's pretty upscale. And she goes, it's worse when they're older and they have infinite money because they think that everything's just owed to them. She goes, I've been in the supermarket and at Publix, and I just see them they buy a whole bunch of expensive wine and realize, oh, we need a new wine opener. They'll just throw it into their bag. They pay for the wine, but they steal the corkscrew thing. And I was like, really? And she goes, it's insane. Watch these rich old people, and all they do is steal everything.
See?
All right, I got two things out of that.
Yeah.
One, like that old lady's like, oh, my granddaughter's getting married, and now she has a 12-piece set of used silverware somewhere in her house. Two, you went all the way down to Florida to go to a New York Jewish deli?
No,
The pastrami tastes like pastrami.
I was down there, and she wanted to go to lunch, and that's where she wanted to go to lunch. Because otherwise you're stuck with...
You left the New York area to go down to Florida.
Yeah,
and
most
not eat
New York
alligator?
people leave the New York area to go down to Florida. But when you're down there, you look for New York-style places to eat because a lot of the stuff down there is chain restaurants. So you're getting like... When people say, oh, I know this great barbecue place down in Florida. What is it called? Sonny's Barbecue. It's a massive chain.
I was going to say, unless you're
not authentic.
Unless you're on the coasts, the interior of Florida is just chain after chain.
Right.
You'll find a handful of like Italian places, but that's about it. I think Italian is about as unique as you get.
You go to the places
it's Grand Buffet.
It's a huge restaurant where the left side is Carrabba's and the right side is Outback.
Yeah.
And because they're all owned by the same company.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's like kind of weird is that like I could think of most states and like think of a food that they're known for, but like I can't for Florida. Like I think of oranges, but that's not like a food product. You know what I mean?
Florida's...
Like I know the South is a lot of Cuban food, but like I can't think of like what's like a Florida dish.
Yeah, like when I was in Dallas, I was like, yeah, I want to get some like good I don't know, steer or something. I don't know what you guys eat here. And on the bus, they're like, you're in luck. They just opened up a brand new TGI Fridays right where the bus lets you off. And I was like, damn, really? I came over.
They were just fucking with you.
Yeah.
You think? I wound up going to the spaghetti factory.
What
in
is
Dallas.
California known for, food-wise?
Avocado toast.
Tacos and like
cilantro.
Burritos.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like people in New York are just like, I can't get a burrito anywhere like California
we were in San
here.
Diego. You didn't see the burrito food trucks and everything outside.
I did,
the
but
convention
but I
center?
see burrito food trucks in New York.
But it's just like it's just different.
It's not the same. Like
Okay.
in New York, you'd like, you know what? I haven't had in a long time a burrito. Let's go get a burrito.
Yeah.
And there's good Mexican places, or if you go to a Chipotle or something
Right.
like that. But in LA, it's I'm gonna have a burrito for breakfast, a burrito for lunch, and then a burrito for dinner.
It's like our hamburger because I feel like you can get
exactly.
a hamburger.
People
Yeah.
out on the West Coast just go for burritos more than they would for a hamburger or something like that.
Fair enough.
There's a really good episode on Netflix of that Ugly Delicious show with David Chang.
I just started that.
And it's all about tacos, and it's like him in LA and like all through California just like sampling tacos. And he's like, I don't understand what the big deal is about tacos. He's like, we have tacos everywhere. And then they go through like the history and all the different carts, and like you really learn about like taco culture in California. It's pretty crazy.
The fact that there's taco culture really kind of sums it up, I think, is what I've
Yeah, I mean, because they're like going to trucks and they're like, okay, well, this is this kind of taco, which is specifically from this region in Ecuador,
Right.
And it became like this in LA, and then these kind of burritos from this region of Guatemala. Like, it's really interesting.
I can't believe some SJWs haven't shut them down yet.
Well, we remember.
Well,
I
maybe
know,
they're
that's
gonna
why
watch
I
the
said
show.
it, because of that
yeah.
story we talked about up in Seattle or wherever it was.
A little quick recap on that, where it was the two ladies, right?
Two women, yeah.
Two women went down to Mexico
Right.
to learn the culinary techniques and skill to making authentic Mexican food. So it's not like they just, like, we're going to try it and see if
Yeah.
we can do it. They went down to study and learn how it was done. Then went back up to Oregon?
No, it was Seattle, wasn't it? It was Washington State, yeah.
To open up their own place. And when they opened up, it started getting attention, and these protest groups just started slamming them and like messing with their Yelp reviews and all this
And
stuff.
eventually
saying
they had to shut down.
that it was cultural appropriation. You shouldn't be; these white girls shouldn't be making, Mexican food and tacos and everything. But
Yeah, it was insanity.
in the article, like one of the food journalists up there did a whole piece on how great the place was, and that sparked the whole thing. Because the food review was really good, saying that these two white women shouldn't be making Mexican food because they're not Mexican. They went down to study and learn how to do it. Most chefs will go to Paris, will go to New York to learn how to make authentic foods. Will go to China and then they come back and open up their own places, but they're not the authenticity for the food that they're making.
So
and
they
a lot of times they make it really better than what they were getting.
They did too good. They did their job too well.
It was
and
just
bit them in the
right.
ass.
It was as the social justice stuff was starting to rise that they made such a big stink that these ladies were forced to shut down their business.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid, and I don't like it because like I'm doing a food pop up Saturday, and I'm doing tacos, and it's all like Asian themed tacos. And I'm a white Jewish guy, so like, I can't wait to see me on the news. Gittles culturally appropriating, and I'm not even calling it a nacho stand. I'm calling it a not yours stand. I'm going for like the reverse pun.
Well, if you throw brisket in, you'll be all right.
Yeah, brisket was invented by Jews.
Yes.
Just so you know, I'm not even making that shit up. It's true. Like, look up the history of barbecue. It's fucking Jewish people.
Is it?
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought you
dude.
just perfected it. I didn't know that you created it.
Oh yeah, we created it, man. Like, check it out. It's all like all the barbecue in Texas and stuff was started by Jewish people who
Well,
moved down
God
there.
bless you for your work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shalom.
You are God's people.
All right.
That's what I've been told.
Moving on. So the Taco Bell stuff was really great. Is this a limited run or is this?
I think it's a
a
limited
brand
run right
new-
now. $3.99 a taco. So
What? Per taco?
per taco?
Wow.
I'm
I
writing
guess I'm
all
not
this.
getting it.
This is all getting on the show.
All right, now it's going to fail because it's too
It's
expensive.
too expensive for Taco Bell.
$3. When you go into Taco Bell thinking $3, I'm like, all right, that's at least 2 tacos and a drink. You know, you're not thinking one particular taco.
The
is-
last time I went to Taco Bell, I bought enough food for 4 people, and it was still less than $20 somehow.
See, that's the thing. I
When
love
was the last time you were at Taco Bell?
Like a month ago.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
See, that's the thing when I walk into White Castle, I'm like, oh my God, a cheeseburger for 69 cents. This is going to be great. And then I realize how much White Castle it takes to fill a man.
Yeah, but
And I walk out spending $30, and I'm just like, I have like.
Were they giving you something that you can't understand? And how you can just fill it
how I
in?
could just fill a man. Well, I kind of feel like we just have
deep
to end the
cut.
show. Like I kind of feel like thanks, folks.
We're going to White Castle.
All right, we'll see you next week. That
Be
was
excellent
good.
to
Put
each
that
other.
down
Be
for the show
seeing
title.
ya.
Showtime.
How I can just fill a man. That'll bring a lot of questions on iTunes.
But the thing is, like, no matter how much you spend on White Castle burgers, like, you don't have to spend that money on X-Lax, so you're saving at the
No.
end. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fast food because, like, it is coming out of you as it's going in.
I was
Like,
gonna say,
it
but
is-
I can only eat White Castle if I'm in the bathroom while
yeah.
consuming it. I cannot.
I
cannot
The
eat it
drive-thru is
anywhere
just-
else.
The drive-through is just like a bunch of porta potties lined up like at Coachella,
Right.
And then they just bring you your bag. It's curbside service.
I would only
they
be able to
open the
use-
door. The hand goes around the door, hands you the bag, closes the door.
Remember when they like really pushed that whole like just drive around and get a sack of 10? I'm like, that sack can be used for more things after you consume it.
Yeah.
Just use the same bag.
Unless I was in an RV, I couldn't go through the drive-through. I can't eat. I haven't been able to eat Taco Bell, White Castle in probably 20-something years.
Are you the guy that goes to White Castle, gets the clam strips?
No. First of all, I don't go to White Castle anymore. But
That's your first
It's
problem.
probably been about 20 years because it used
White
to kill
Castle
me.
look, White Castle should not be an everyday consummation. It should not be.
Consummation is not what you meant.
Oh my God, it's
you
not.
meant
You meant consumption.
Consumption. Wow.
You're still stuck in how you can fill a man.
I am.
oh my God.
And every day,
Stop looking in my eyes when you say filament.
I'll just touch your knee gently here.
Oh my God, that was so good. Perfect. All right, that was our show for today. Hope you guys
given
glad
you
to
two
check out all
natural
of our
end-
sponsors. Taco
This is
Bell.
turning into Infinity
Return of the
War.
King,
We
yeah.
gave you 2 natural endings already, and we're still going.
Promo.
So everyday consumption, not even weekly consumption, it should be a rare treat for you because White Castle is still amazingly delicious. And I want to point out, just because you see it in the freezer section at a supermarket,
Right.
they're not the same.
No.
You might, because if you're the dumb one that microwaves those things, that thing turns into a puck.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, and
no.
you don't want that. If you want to do frozen and do right, go and buy the Crave case. Let them give it to you because it's from them. It's not packaged. It was made from
Whenever.
whenever.
Oh, you
But
can get a fresh Crave case.
You get a fresh Crave case from White Castle, not
Yeah.
from the supermarket, and you go and you throw those in the oven, and they're perfectly fine. For some reason, the ones they sell individually wrapped or the 2-pack wrapped that you get at the supermarket are not the same. I don't know why. White Castle in the Northeast, and I guess certain areas of the country, it's White Castle. Down south, it's known as Crystal.
Okay.
Crystal
Wait,
Burgers.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Do they not? Is it the same company? Or
I don't know if it's the same
okay.
company, but I know there's a territory issue.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's a Carl's Jr. Hardy situation,
Oh, right.
or if it's just Crystal started filling up the gaps from where White Castle wasn't
closing?
in there yet,
Yeah.
and that's where things are. But if you go down south, if you see Crystal Burgers, it's White Castle.
I'm picturing like White Castle on one side, Crystal Burger on the other, like the Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah. Just snapping fingers
Just
and
snapping
walking at each
fingers
other.
and flinging burgers.
And then Officer Krupke comes in and wraps it up.
That's not a bad musical. I would pay to see that on Broadway.
Yeah.
That's the
Look for
third.
Taco the Town.
That's the third. Okay.
But it was White Castle, so that joke failed.
But we knew what you meant.
Have you ever had the turkey White Castle stuffing?
No.
No, it's like going to the Burger King getting the veggie burger.
No. What I mean is like it's a thing that people do on Thanksgiving where you get a crave case and you make stuffing out of it and you shove it into the turkey and then you make White Castle like burgers as stuffing in the
You're
turkey.
actually drooling.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, like look it up. It's a thing. Like it's a total thing. And I see people do it every year, and I've never done it because the White Castle over by my apartment closed down so they could put up a condo. So I guess it's another kind of White Castle, and that no one could afford. And I can't get burgers anymore.
No, that sounds delicious. Then I can shit and sleep at the same time.
Exactly. Just it comes with
We
the
should
diaper.
we should do that. Like eat that live.
Tryptophan and diarrhea. It's a mix.
I think for the next show, I'll go and I'll get a whole crave case, and then we can just.
No, I'm not gonna be here next week. Oh,
You're going to Europe, right?
yeah, first time.
Where are you going in Europe?
I'm going to Holland. I'm gonna visit all my Dutch brethren.
Holland, Queens.
Is there a Holland Queens? Is that
No,
next to
that's
Jamaica?
Hollis, Queens.
Oh,
So do you have
Anyway, yeah.
Do you actually have family there that you're going to visit?
yeah. I have cousins that I've never met before that I'm gonna meet. for
Has
the first
anybody
time.
in your family that's going with you met them before, or is this just like some sort of weird family reunion?
No, my grandfather's actually
Did
Dutch.
you discover them from the DNA testings that's going on right now?
No,
No, you didn't buy that kit and then found out I have a whole family in Holland.
no. I don't know if I would be so like, hey. No, my grandfather's Dutch. Came over young. I think he was like 5, and he's probably gonna tell me he was like 20 tomorrow when I
Yeah.
ask him to make sure. But he came over, and my brother's graduating medical school. My sister's graduating to be a vet to go to medical school. My first cousin is graduating something with video games, and my other first cousin's graduating high school. So instead of all in the same week, so instead of doing like graduation party like I had, they said, why don't we all just go on a trip over to Europe, because my grandfather says he wants to go one more time before he's too old. So we're all getting on a plane and we're all going over there, and I'm very excited. I'm going to go to Amsterdam, and there's nowhere else to go. But I'm going to go to Amsterdam. No, there's plenty of
flying
other
into
places.
Amsterdam?
Yeah, that's where I'm flying into.
That's the whole cliche of going
Euro
to Amsterdam,
trip?
whatever, is not important anymore, considering so many countries, and in this country as well, legalized marijuana. So Amsterdam, even though it's a great spot to go,
I hear it's beautiful.
it is not the big.
It's awesome.
Not the
Yeah.
big, pot tourism thing that it used to be. But for some reason, certain parts of Europe all fly into Amsterdam, and then you got to train to everywhere else.
Yeah, it's like not huge. We're staying in the middle of the country.
Right.
We Airbnb'd a farmhouse,
Right?
or it was a barn that was now turned into it. So I'm guessing it's now.
Was it a
farmhouse.
windmill? Well, there's
No.
windmills all over
That's-
fucking Amsterdam.
Windmills. I'm gonna eat some cheese. I'm gonna see some tulips.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
wear
wear some
wooden
wooden.
I was gonna say you getting clogs.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
you got.
I've had a pair of those since I was born.
You got to get the palm frites in Amsterdam, dude. They're everywhere. Palm frite stands everywhere.
My-
Like you can get the clogs, you get the clogged arteries, you can get it all. It's so good.
Yeah, so it's my first time going to Europe. I'm kind of excited.
That's awesome, man. Good
I'm
for
gonna
you.
watch. I have all Lost in Space down. I'm gonna do that tonight. Download on the iPad, so I can watch.
Right.
I only watched the first 2 episodes.
How long's that flight?
7 hours.
It's about 7.5 or 8 going there, but it's longer coming back.
That's not too bad
yeah,
though.
because
7
you're
or 8
fighting
hours
the
is-
jet stream coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't care about flying, but as a former fat man, now just a husky man, I don't like to be in those airspace. Those airplane seats. But it's gonna be-
Window or aisle?
I used to always have to do the aisle, but my wife now found out she gets motion sickness, so I will be in the window seat this time.
After all the flights recently, I would not want to be anywhere near a window seat.
So can I just bounce
You
something
flying
off of
Southwest?
A lot of people do. No, I'm Delta.
So
yeah, the
What?
Delta-
Don't go. Yeah.
No, Delta and United are the the regular airlines that do international travel. Otherwise, you're going to be paying a fortune to do like Virgin Air. Or,
but Virgin Air.
Oh, there's a Dutch
Virgin
airline,
Air is
United KLM
beautiful.
or whatever. that
KLM
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
right
Aer
there.
Lingus is really nice too.
There's no Virgin Air flights out of Amsterdam though because of the red light district.
I want to. Oh,
You can only go.
Oh,
in.
you. No, I just want to. So
Go on.
the comment you just made about you're sitting in the window because your wife needs the aisle.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I just had a conversation with another gentleman where I work who was flying someplace, and he had the same situation. He's like, yeah, my wife really likes the aisle, so I'm taking the center seat or whatever it is. Right.
Oh, he's a better man than I was.
Right. Exactly.
She's at the center.
So.
As they
So
should.
what I said to him was, I really like the aisle as well. I like the comfort of the aisle.
like putting my left
I like
leg or
putting
right
my
leg.
leg out
Yeah,
a little
I
bit,
don't
right?
trip someone.
And my wife also likes the aisle. So we do this little thing where we just take one seat on either side of the aisle.
Are you that couple that holds hands in the middle?
No.
Okay.
You don't have to fucking hold your wife's hand for 7 hours.
Not 7 hours. I'm just once we're up in the air, we're fine. She hates the takeoff and landing part.
Okay.
So sometimes she'll grab my hand for that.
Right.
So if you're one of those
What if you-
couples that take the 2 aisle seats and then when you're taking off, you always look at I always look in the aisle
Yeah.
for that one couple that's holding in the middle. I just
But-
want to run through a freaking
But
marathon.
you know what though? Even still, even if you do the holding hand thing,
Do you do?
Even if you
da-da.
do the holding hand thing for the landing and the takeoff, wouldn't you rather spend the rest of the 8 hours comfortable?
Yeah, no,
You could be uncomfortable. You could be slightly embarrassed for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And be really comfortable for the rest of the flight.
No, I'm
I'm just surprised that more people just don't do that.
I don't know. She uses my shoulder to try to sleep. I don't know. I'm fuzzy. And
Look, I'm not knocking your choices.
I don't. This is.
I'm
one
just
of the,
saying. To me, it's just.
I've
like,
never been on a plane this big where the window seat is only 2 seats. So it's it's 2.
So this is 2,
4,
4,
and
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is interesting to me. I don't have
Be
to worry
lucky
about
that you're on the window side because being in the 4 in the center is just a nightmare.
Oh, I did that once from
Unless
LA.
you're on the aisle.
For LA, I sat down. I'm like, oh no, I'm in the center of a 4-way. This is terrible. And the other 2 people on
the
both
only
sides didn't
time
show
those
up.
words are ever uttered.
Yeah.
It's
No,
true.
and that's good though. If you're in the very front row of the four seat
No, I
section,
just meant the 4-way.
I know what you meant. I was trying
right.
to
Class
push
it up a
past
little
that.
bit.
Grow
You're-
up, Eric.
Yeah.
The 4-way in Amsterdam?
You're still on consummation. I'm moving on to air flights. Anyway,
Well-
so have a
well-
good time. That'll be fun.
No, yeah, I'm jacked up. But how do you? They're going for 2 weeks. I'm only going for 1 because I have a job. It's one of those
Right.
things, Eric, where you get paid to go someplace.
Yeah, I know. What's
been a
that
while.
like?
And so since I'm only there a week, they've planned out the whole week. We're going here, we're going there, and then the second week they're going to do nothing,
Right.
relax. So I don't know how much of a vacation, because vacation means you want to relax a little bit. And I want to see all these things. Don't get me wrong, but I want to go out and have fun. So that was an awkward Easter conversation. I'm like, yeah, there's going to be one night where I'm going to want to take the car and go out. And they're like, well, where are you going to go? I'm like, out. I'm going to go explore.
Yeah,
They're like, we don't want to be worried about you. I'm like, you realize I get to work in New York City at midnight, right? I'm just roaming the streets. If you think, I'm pretty sure I can handle the countryside or
Just tell
Amsterdam
them,
for a night.
it's all right. I'll Uber to a complete stranger in a foreign country.
just tell them that all the prostitutes there get tested, and you should be fine.
That's what you know.
Yeah.
It's facilitated by the government,
But
Mom.
is that weird? I mean, what kind of person does it show that I am? That my grandmother's like, you can't go to the red light district. I'm like, why do you think that's the first place I'm gonna go?
No, you should have said that's where you met Grandpa.
I don't know, because you talk about manipulating sex dolls on a semi-regular basis. Yes, I assume you're going to the red light
I'm
district
not
as
going
well.
overseas to do that. I could do that here.
I understand, but
There's a police parody song in the works.
God,
saying.
there was a thing called Backpage. I got that all out of my system, man.
Here's the thing about Amsterdam is it is a really fun city to walk around at night.
That's
because
what I
there's
wanna
just
do.
Crazy shit going on. I remember I was there and some dude just walked into a canal, just fell into the canal. It
I
was
want to see that.
And here's the thing:
You'll
300
be
people
that.
on the sidewalk,
I will
just
be
pointing
that.
and laughing as this man is pseudo drowning in a canal. We're all like, everyone's high. It's
Yeah.
great.
I've heard too about Amsterdam, and you can make all the weed jokes you want, but outside of the weed, the shops in Amsterdam, the baked goods and the coffee are seriously amazing.
Everything's great there. The beer is
and it's not
amazing.
because of there's weed or hemp or anything.
Oh, okay, that's what
no, it's like
that's what
no,
you're
but
talking about.
no, but apparently
Like legit food. He meant.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
legit food. The coffee is supposedly outstanding out there, and those coffee shops because everybody sells weed in that area, the coffee shops, but they also do the baked goods, non-weed
Dutch
filled,
bakery.
are apparently very good.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to try that.
Natural is delicious.
I'm also afraid of trying any kind of weed or anything over there because like that stuff just puts me to sleep, and I'm afraid I'm going to be reading the menu wrong and like accidentally get a space cake.
Right.
And I get like, this chocolate's delicious, and then like an hour later I wake up like, I don't know, in Belgium.
Drowning in a canal.
Dude, like, you know what happened to me like the first time I got to Amsterdam?
You are
So, like, I
smiling
was
way
there
too
with-
much for the story.
It was fucking nuts. All right, so I get there. It's like me and my buddy Sean, and we were supposed to get on a train to go to Munich to get to go to Oktoberfest, and we were going to spend a couple days in Amsterdam, a couple days in Munich. Our flight was delayed, so we missed our connecting train. So it was going to be 1 day at each place or 5 days in Amsterdam. We're like, fuck it, let's just stay 5 days in Amsterdam. Like, let's just not go anywhere else. So we get there, we extend our hostel. We had to share a bed, a twin bed, and I was like 200 pounds heavier, so it was not fun to share.
Wait, are you the
And,
small spoon or the big spoon?
I was
the
more like
ladle.
a spatula. Like it was just like in there, more like a fatula. That's good. And so we
That's
get
a
there.
great
we ask-
rapper name for a fat guy coming up. If you don't have that, fatula, and you just have a
fatula.
gold spoon hanging from your neck. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we asked him at the hostel we're at. We're like, yo, where would you go if you wanted to get like some really good weed? So they tell us where to go, and it's like
Everywhere.
it was a hike. Like it was like not in like the touristy part of town. Like we had to go through the red light district, we had to go through the yellow light district, we had to go through every lighted district. Yellow light district is like serious caution.
And then you go through the green light district and you yell 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so we get to this coffee shop. We see everyone smoking joints, and we're like, okay, cool. Well, we could each just smoke a joint and be okay. We didn't know that everyone there was cutting them like 75% tobacco, and we rolled them like 100% weed. And I was like maybe 24. I was not as experienced as say I am now.
Right.
So we get really high, and I'm like, oh, right, dude, we are like completely fucked up. We have to get back to the hostel. Like, I don't even know which way we're going. And then my buddy's like, dude, we just got to be careful, man. We're in a foreign country, and we're really high. And as
everywhere
he
we
says
go,
that,
Scotty Doesn't Know keeps playing.
yeah, pretty much. But like as he says that, he trips over a garbage can and like rolls into traffic. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking terrible. And then like 10 minutes later, I remember like blinking, and I was in like a Rite Aid type store trying to buy towels for some reason. And then maybe an hour later,
So
I'm
much
woke.
softer here.
Yeah, dude, like the guy at the counter was just like, they have them at the hostel. Like, you don't need to buy a towel. I was like, I forgot my towel. He's like, well, this isn't like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where you need a towel. Like, you can go to the hostel.
yeah.
They'll give you a. And then so my buddy Sean, he went out for a walk. I went to take a nap, and I'm woken up by an Australian dude fucking some girl in the bunk bed next to me, and I'm getting kicked in the face. Because like I'm just like it was a mess. But needless to say, it was a great time.
Yeah, I was like, I need to say.
Did he kind of
You know
like
what the
look
Heineken-
over you and do that finger point thing? Like, huh? You want some? You want to get on this?
Tap
No,
you
dude,
in.
and I heard him talking. He's like,
Yeah, he
and
tagged
she
you
was like,
in.
I think he's waking up, and the guy was like, "That's okay, mate," and he just kept fucking her. I was just like, "Please stop." It's like, I'm right here, dude. Like, I can hear you. Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh god, that reminds me of college.
Well,
But yeah, that's Amsterdam. Amsterdam is college. Every store you see is a Spencer's. It's like, oh, 420 smoke. It's like really cheesy gift shops. Like terrible gift shops. But then there's like live sex shows, and like you can go to the Anne Frank house.
so you know,
At the same day?
yeah,
You can do it all.
Yeah,
I actually already have tickets for the Anne Frank house because apparently it's like a month waiting list to get into that
sounds
place.
very exciting.
And that's what the funny thing is the one night that I've cleared on the schedule, like grandmother's, I'm going out.
Yeah.
And if you get worried, I'm not making it to the Anne Frank house the next day. Like,
Right.
so it's gonna I'm gonna be so messed up going to Anne Frank's house, going, holy shit, she was here for a while.
Because that's what you want to do when you go there. It's like, we've done everything except get depressed. What can we do here? Let's go to the Anne Frank house.
Well, me and
show
Sean-
Is it
diary
depressing,
and
or do you
start
or do you
taking
just like take your life, but like, oh, well, I don't have to do this.
Well, me and Sean were like really high, and we were at the Anne Frank house, and we were like, man, people in New York would kill for a space this big.
Yo, how much is the rent here?
Yeah, but like, dude, no joke. I was like, I mean, the staircase is a little narrow, but hey, man, there's a lot of room.
You can get an IKEA couch up there. They come apart.
Yeah,
I
it was
know.
awful. Like the British guy next to us was like, "Brr, brr." He was just so offended.
Dropped
His monocle fell into his cup of tea. Yeah, that's Amsterdam. It's great. French fries.
Sounds like a
Go on the
party.
canal tour. Go on all of it.
I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go Wi-Fi only, but I'll try to actually use my Twitter and send you guys stuff.
Nice.
Well, after
Do it up.
Gittles' story, when he goes back to school in the fall, he would have an amazing "What I Did on My Summer Vacation" paper.
Yes.
Illustrations were not necessary, but appreciated.
Oh.
He just sent back his blood test. It
So
says
that's
I'm
good.
clean.
Have fun at Holland.
Thank you.
Try all the food you can. Everything that's special or local to whatever areas you're in.
Smuggle back whatever's legal.
Yeah.
Get some Kinder eggs or whatever they are.
Oh, whatever's legal.
No, you could just get those, anywhere now.
Really,
again?
with the toys in it? 'Cause I thought they were still
not
banned.
legally, but
'Cause that would be great.
But every little fucking mom and pop convenience store has
Right.
them now. They
That would be
import them
great
from
that
Mexico.
Trevor gets caught in customs by agents, not for illegal
Yeah.
substances, but because he brought back Kinder eggs.
Yeah, no, you actually are allowed to buy them and bring them into the country. That's as long as they're for personal consumption, it's okay.
What's a Kinder egg?
A Kinder egg is a chocolate egg.
They kill babies.
They kill babies. You put them on a train. It's a chocolate egg. It's a toy inside of a capsule. Okay, and the capsule is inside of an egg. The egg is white chocolate covered in milk chocolate, and then it's wrapped in foil. They are illegal in the United States
Because of choking hazards.
Because the capsule is literally about that big, and they say that it's a choking hazard. It's actually probably bigger than that because it's oval, so it's like.
Okay.
Because they don't want to
fairly
give you a
large.
lot of chocolate, so they're not making it so that it's
Yeah.
like a little toy and a lot of chocolate. Like it's a big capsule of a little toy around a thin sheet of chocolate.
It's a thin sheet. It's a tiny amount of chocolate. You really buy
It's
it
like a
'cause
Wonder Ball, but except you could choke.
You want the prize,
Kinda.
yeah. So they're illegal in the States because they technically the FDA says it's a choking hazard. But if you go into all these little mom and pop convenience stores, they all sell them now because they import them from Mexico. They used to have to get them at like you would go to the Irish store in town, that would have the Celtic music, knit sweaters and kilts,
Yeah.
and then Kinder eggs behind the counter.
A lot of them too were smuggled down from Canada because they
Canada?
would be shipped from Europe over to Canada, and they were allowed to be sold in
Yep,
Canada.
Canada,
and
Mexico.
Then people would bring them down from Canada to into the New York.
There's
area.
a place in Secaucus, Harmon Grove, the shopping center, the really nice outdoor one that you can walk around. There's a little convenience store in there. It's like a little convenience / candy store.
Oh yeah, that's next to the AJ's, the strip club. Yeah.
Okay. They've got 50 different kinds of Kinder eggs when you walk in there. But they're all from Mexico.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have a lot to explore, and I'm going to eat a lot of Gouda cheese. The fact that their towns are named after cheese makes me very excited.
You have
It's
a
the
lot
little
to
things in
learn, my
life.
friend. A lot to learn.
I'm a young.
It's
But
the little
if
things
you
in life,
get
Travis.
wooden
It's the little
clogs,
things in
you
life.
need to
shut up,
please
other guy.
please document everything, especially if you get wooden clogs.
Take
I want to
notes.
see you dance.
We don't. As Dutch, we don't always have to dance when we wear them. Sometimes we just want to walk down the street and not have to put on Crocs. This is the original Croc.
Listen. It's dancing or plugging dikes. That's all they do, apparently. That's what I think, at least.
It's to trick people to think a herd of horses are coming down the street. Oh shit, the military's invading. Nope, it's just afternoon stroll.
It's very functional. All right.
Well, enjoy Europe. Gittles, you had a story about a friend of yours that went viral?
Oh yeah. So I had a friend of mine, and she found some documents in her art textbook. Her sister found some documents in an art textbook that were basically the guides that the police department were giving out for how to spot Satanists. And it's from the whole Satanic Panic scare of the 80s. And so she just tweeted out nonchalantly oh, crazy, check this out. And then the Church of Satan found it and they retweeted it. And then it went super viral. Well, her name was trending on Twitter for a couple hours. And it was pretty nuts. Will Wheaton was retweeting her. She got all these articles written about her because she found these documents. It was pretty nuts.
That's crazy.
She went super viral. She's I got 1,000 new followers in a day. And then she's how many of them want to look at my cat pics? I'm none of them.
None of them.
None of them do.
Zero.
Unless you
was
sacrifice the cat, apparently. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. If you want to look it up, if you just Google Satanic Panic, it'll be the top links. And it's on everything. It's on Medium. It's on Tumblr. It's on BuzzFeed. It totally blew up.
Satanic Panic?
Yeah, it was from the 80s. Watch out. It was about how showing how Dungeons and Dragons is gonna like turn kids into Satanists and like things to look out for in your kids' behavior because they're like worshiping Satan, like crazy shit like that.
Who
and it was like
these papers?
actual documents that like the police department were like giving out.
Which police department? Like here in New York?
Like all over the entire country, Eric. Like this was like the big Satan scare of the 80s. Like when people were on like Sally Jesse and being like, I'm a Satanist and blah, 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 blah. Well, it was like a big deal.
So is your friend Jennifer Jordan?
That's my friend.
Nice. I found the thread. I found the pictures.
Yeah, it's crazy. So she found all these documents. It's not even a joke. Like what what signs to look out for when hiking to make sure you don't run into Satanists who are going to sacrifice you.
Hand gestures and
like really crazy shit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it got like
Crips.
Here you go.
Because the thing is, it got picked up and retweeted because people are like, no, this is what like witch hunts were. Like this was in the 80s. This was all in our lifetime. Like this shit was happening.
Listen to this. So body markings to look out for: Black Panthers, goat heads, the upside down cross, a black widow spider, skull, crossbones, pentagram, Baphomet, coiled snake, knife dripping blood, Satan, black rose, Ankh, clock. Like half of like modern tattoos would have you hung for being a witch.
Don't go to a rock show.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna say.
Yeah, like some of those things on there were like really nuts. Like it's worth it to check it out if you want to check it out. It's like it's all over the internet. Just type in like Satanic Panic and there's a hashtag on Twitter for it. Like I said, there's articles everywhere if you want to read up on something that literally happened like 30 years ago in this country. It's pretty nuts.
What leads to involvement? Curiosity and lured into free sex and or drug parties.
Yep.
Yeah.
So life.
Yeah.
High school.
Everything I strive for. Yeah.
But the thing is, to think about too is like this came out in like the late 80s, and that's when like the religious right like really started to take over too. So like this isn't just like an inconsequential like document find. It's like this is like real shit.
This was in the height of when they were saying rock and roll is of the devil, and they were trying to. Remember, Tipper Gore was trying to get records banned, and then wound up settling on the parental advisory label. What is this one here? The Devil Made Us Do It. Something. Is that John Lennon?
Yeah, dude. This was a counterculture book that I found at the local thrift store from 1971, and I was sending her pictures because I was like, yo, I got like the other end of the Satanic Panic. I have the ones that were like sent to the kids where it's just like, this is what people are thinking about you, and this is all about like John Lennon, and it's got all this crazy shit. Look, get a haircut, Uncle Sam. But it's pretty cool. So I have some Satanic Panic stuff as well.
Wow.
This is
Well, look all that up.
Yeah, look at all this shit.
Satanic Panic.
Yeah, look it all up. It's crazy.
Was that Nixon in a car ad?
It was, man.
Wow.
Well, it's a comic.
Yeah.
So like, there's some like really really interesting stuff in here.
This
is from 1971.
Was it an offshoot from Mad Magazine?
It was a magazine. It's called Something Else. It was actually printed out on Long Island. It was let's see, 122 South Ocean Avenue, Freeport.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was a whole magazine here. Editor James Simon, art director Jerry Grandinetti. I don't know who these people are, but it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I like finding like weird old stuff like this, but it's not as cool and as interesting as the stuff my friend Jen found.
that's pretty amazing.
Matt, what was the thing that you had about that restaurant in China?
Oh yeah. So there's this restaurant in China that is incentivizing you for being thin, essentially.
Isn't everyone in China thin, or they're sumo wrestlers?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think that's appropriate. But I could be wrong. But pretty much the restaurant has these bars set up around the front of it, and they're varying widths apart. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you can fit through the bars, you get a discount on your meal. So the skinnier you are, the thinner the bars you can squeeze through, the bigger the discount you get on your food.
You order less food.
Do you really order less food?
If you're skinnier, don't you?
Not necessarily.
If anything,
All I know is the T2000 ate for free all the time. He walked right through those bars.
he was the bar.
He was
the bar.
That's insane. But China always has these weird things going on, because one of my favorite things, if you can find the Vice documentary, is when they explore Chinese cities, that they spend all this money to make like these big facade cities, but the buildings are never finished and no one lives in them. They were just purposely wasting money by building these huge, gigantic cities in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah. And then, so you have things like that. You have this restaurant nonsense. The other piece that we were talking about where they were rating you by your social standards, like the Black Mirror episode.
Yep.
Where China was doing this thing, I don't know if either one of you have the information on it, but China was doing this thing where they were giving you a social rating based on your activity and how you conducted yourself in your life and what you do in public. So if you had a higher rating, you got better perks as far as allowed to go to better restaurants. You get quicker check-ins at hotels. You get a bigger discount if you're buying a car. And if you were like, they showed you the video where it looks like, also like Person of Interest. If you ever watched that show, they showed a camera and you see people in red and people in blue based on how their patterns are. And it's increasing your numbers or decreasing your numbers. Like if you were jaywalking across the street, it would lower your social rating.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
I just want to read to you some of the sizes and what you get at this particular restaurant.
Okay.
So the smallest gap is 15 centimeters wide. At 15 centimeters wide, you get free food and beer.
15.
Can your head fit through that?
Probably not.
15 centimeters is what? 6 inches?
No.
7?
15 centimeters is...
It's like 40 feet.
No. What?
It's 3 meters.
Hey, Siri,
You're a lunatic.
what's 15 centimeters in inches?
It's saying,
Oh, you were right. It's about 6 inches.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, you should know this. You're going to Europe where they got the metric system, buddy. You should.
I just asked. I got her to bring this bitch with me.
And when you drive,
Are you
remember,
serious?
when you go to drive, keep it in H.
Put it in H.
The next step up is 18 centimeters. For that, you get 5 free beers.
I don't know
Okay.
if this would strive me to lose weight because you're only going to gain it by the time you leave.
The third increment is 25 centimeters. You get 1 free beer. After that, it goes up to 30 centimeters, and at 30 centimeters, you get no discount, but they just tell you your figure is just average, and you shouldn't ask for anything more.
Wow.
This place is brilliant. I mean, I wouldn't get inside, but
it's
still.
trying to
I was
bring
going
you
to
in
say, I
line.
feel like when I go through, they're going to be like, you owe us food.
Yes.
So where's the delivery? Yeah, if you're too big, you come in through the delivery door.
Oh,
Come
my
with a box
goodness
of Krispy
gracious.
Kremes.
Man, they just love controlling people by public shame.
Apparently.
Like, shame and honor means way too much over in that part of the world.
Why people commit Harry Carey.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I mean, if you can't fit through a certain amount of bars to enter a restaurant so that you're publicly shamed. I mean, this is from the area that used to bind women's feet because they thought they were too big, because they felt socially that women's feet should be small, like baby feet, and they used to just.
I thought it had more to do with than that.
It did? What? Was it more
what kind
a
of
religious
restaurant
thing?
was this, though?
By the way,
It
I
wasn't
know
a
that
restaurant, it
by
was
the
a
way,
culture.
But before anybody says, I know that Harry Carey is Japanese and not Chinese. By the way, but we were talking about the region in general. I think, right?
But what kind of restaurant is this with the bars? Like, is it anything
It's in
even
China.
good?
Oh,
So
I don't
it
know.
would be
Just
Chinese
I don't
food.
know. They sell.
It's Chinese food?
They sell
But there
beer
they
and-
just call it
yeah,
food.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It's
Friends.
Chinese cuisine. It's the TGI Fridays
Yeah, I was going to
of
say.
China.
Thaddeus GI
You could try to
Fridays.
go to a Bennigan's and get,
Right.
you know.
TGICs.
All right. I think we should take a break.
You don't get it.
I don't get half the stuff.
Thank
you
God it's
said.
Chinese. Trailers coming out, movie dates coming out, television release dates coming out, sequels being planned. There's a lot to get to.
A
So
lot of stuff.
we'll take a break, and maybe we come back.
Wanna sing Cabin in the Woods, ooh. Cabin in the Woods, yeah. We're 5 college students on our way to an old abandoned cabin in the woods. Oh, yeah!
It's Erik Nagel with Eric, Matt, and Gittles. Back right after this.
Attention. Shameless social media plug.
It's Erik Nagel is on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and reluctantly, Snapchat. So follow, like, and subscribe. Would you kindly?
Hi, it's Rose McIver. You are listening to It's Erik Nagel. Lovely.
Welcome back to It's Erik Nagel. That is myself, Matt OG over there.
Hello.
Gittles in the upside down.
I call it the right side up.
And no, well, the right side up is when you're here. And Trevor is here before he leaves for the Dutch wonderland known as Holland.
Yeah.
So much chicken in me.
You okay? You're looking a little green.
Oh, man. You look nauseous. So, before we go on to this TV stuff and nonsense, you went to an event over the weekend, right?
Yes, I did. I went down to Red Bank, New Jersey, to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yeah, what was it? It had some. They were calling it something to do with Cinco de Mayo, weren't they? Funko de Mayo or something like that.
Something like that, possibly. And I went down there because Kevin Smith was going to be down there. He was signing his Funko Pops for 3 hours, which lasted 7 hours.
Right.
And
it was capped at 250 people.
It was by 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, guys that slept overnight, I heard.
Right. It was quite the ordeal.
Yeah.
And I went down there. I met up with Brian Johnson. We were hanging out for a little bit, and then we went in to see Kevin before everything started. And while I had parked in Red Bank and I'm walking over towards the stash, there's a huge line of people down the block.
Right.
And they have tents and everything set up there. Everything's all, on the up and up. And then there's other people on the other side because there's a bunch of restaurants and stores. And they're saying, it's like, what is this line for? What's going on? Some of these people had no idea what it is.
Oprah.
And I forgot now. Damn it, now I'm spacing. But somebody said they're lining up for the guy who created, and it was the wrong property.
Oh no!
Right? and this one guy just happened to be walking past, and he goes, "I can't believe everyone's lining up for the guy from." And I forgot the property that he said, but it was nowhere near what Kevin does or was associated with, which was kind of funny.
That's hilarious.
I hope that guy said it ironically then.
Yeah,
just to throw the guy off.
No, he was serious because he didn't. They were just annoyed. There were so many people as they were walking with their family.
No,
down
like
the
he
street.
was probably serious, but the guy who told him was just like, "Oh fuck this guy, I'm gonna
fuck
screw
this
with
guy,
him." This is it's a line for the guy who made Teletubbies.
So we go into the shop and we're there for a little bit, and then Kevin comes in and gets all set up before he starts the signing. His mom was with him. She was very nice. It was the first time I met her.
Right.
And that whole show quickly became like a hometown reunion.
Yes, I heard.
Because friends of his mom and his family were all showing up, and Kevin would be like, "Oh, is that Mrs. Such and Such? How's your son doing? Oh, he lives over in Queens." Like, it was a whole who's who of the Atlantic Highlands area, all coming back in and waxing poetic of about everything from the good old days. And so they're talking while Kevin's doing stuff. His mom's right there, and she's such a nice lady. And she was talking to somebody about where she lives in Florida, and she's not far from where my parents are. I said, "Oh, my parents are down in that area too." And she goes, "Almost everyone from New Jersey lives in between these two towns."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes." And I said, "If you go a little further, it's Long Island, and then Boston trickles in." And she goes, "I know." Like, it's like even in Florida, there's still territory issues between Long Island and New Jersey. But it was very funny. Hung out with Kevin for a bit. We were talking about a bunch of different stuff. It's always great. He's so generous. I'll never not say that he's the nicest man in this business. What he did, though, was very cool. We got one of these Secret Stash limited edition 20th anniversary Kevin Smith Funko
That's
Pops.
awesome.
Oh wow!
That he signed for us here, so we have to figure out a way on how to give this out to the listening audience.
Sweet.
Call in right now.
Yes, please do that.
11th caller.
And who's on my phone right now? It's Trevor. Okay.
Call you 11th.
So we'll have to give that away. Give that away to one lucky listener for listening to this program here.
So, as a result of that event, I saw some stuff pop up online. For those of you who watch Comic Book Men, or if you're local to New Jersey and the comic book toy scene in New Jersey, you know who Robert Bruce is. Robert Bruce is the guy who's been on Comic Book Men. He's the guy that used to
bring him in as an outside expert.
Yeah. So outside of his run on Comic Book Men, Robert Bruce is known as what we like to call an asshole.
Oh,
okay. So he's a cockbag is really what he is. And in addition to that, he has serious anger and aggression issues. So much, in fact, that he has gotten into fights before. He was ordered into anger management at one point in time. He almost spent time in jail. He's got
perfect for AMC.
He's got problems. So apparently, at the event, he showed up and he acted like he owned the place. He was trying to get in the back, and Mike Zapsik from Tell Him Steve Dave, Comic Book Men, couldn't get him back there, was too busy. Showed up the next day, confronted Mike Zapsik, and then punched him in the head.
Wow.
And
that sounds like a reasonable response.
Yeah, so on the Ming and Mike podcast, which is...
I Sell Comics?
It's No, it's Ming and Mike is the name of their podcast.
Oh, the other one. Okay,
and it's Ming's podcast network. It's not the
a shared universe.
Shared universe show, right? They talked about it all this week, and Mike had to call the police, and
wow,
he hasn't decided if he's going to press charges yet. But that guy's a pompous ass. He got into a fight with Big Kev a couple months ago.
Mike Zapsik or
no, Rob Bruce,
right?
At a convention, actually,
he's just going around punching people.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Look, anyone can have a number of problems with Big Kev, but I'm saying, what was that specific problem?
So Big Kev was vending at this event, and Rob Bruce came up and just started like shit talking the stuff that he was selling, and it was like trying to offer him, like pennies on the dollar because Rob Bruce sells shit at conventions too, and Kev is not gonna fucking take that stuff, and he knows Rob Bruce for you. I'm telling you, if you are part of the toy industry in New Jersey, you know Rob Bruce. This guy's been around long before he was popular.
I think he was also
on Comic Book
guest
Man.
on what was that Toy Hunter show?
Yes, with what's his face,
the guy,
the other guy, Jordan Hembro.
Yes,
yeah. He was. So he's one of these guys that in the local scene, he's very well known for years, and he's always been known as being this kind of aggressive, rough and gruff jerk off.
Right.
And so he almost got to a fight with Kev.
Wow.
So he's gonna find himself.
I think it's safe to say that Rob Bruce will not be on the next season of Comic Book Man.
Probably not so much, I would think.
And not invited to any comic book related events or Kevin Smith related events.
Yeah, I think he probably burned his last bridge.
Wow.
So so that's fun.
Godspeed, sir.
Yeah,
Good
sure. He'll use his time to get his teeth fixed.
Well,
he's only got like 2.
Big Kev?
No.
Oh, by the way, we've talked about this, and I know you've talked about it more on Geek Stuff than we have here, but our pal Big Kev is moving to Hawaii.
It's true.
And
is there any part of Hawaii left that he can move to?
This is the point I'm getting to, because when it first started, where news reports were coming in about all of a sudden a continental crack happened. This is pre-lava, pre-earthquake, whatever. And there's just footage of steam coming through asphalt and farmland and through people's houses. And then shortly after, lava starts shooting up in these remote areas. Then earthquakes start happening, and then the biggest active volcano in the world, which is on that big island of Hawaii, erupts.
Right, so it's all of the major issues are primarily on
the big island,
on that one island.
Right.
The island that Kev is going to, first of all, has no volcano on it.
Right.
And it is fine. It hasn't been affected by it at all.
It is.
Those islands are far enough apart where you have to take a plane to get from one island to the next.
But from what I was seeing, that there's still, for the entire region of Hawaii, all the islands, that there was still an issue from the carbon dioxide and everything else that's shooting out from that.
Apparently, according to what he's been telling us, the area that he's going to is fine. So I don't know.
All right. Well, maybe
he has people on the island that he communicates with regularly, that he's been checking in with. So,
all right. Is my new place on fire yet? Nope. Cool.
I saw a picture, and it was like nothing can stop the lava, and it had a picture of some dude like yelling at it.
Yeah,
like he was just gonna be like, "Hey, lava, stop!" Stop.
There's a picture of like some police officers putting up those like wooden, like barricade horses. Like, what is that gonna do?
Like, why not just put more tinder in front of it?
Why not put out that neon green turtle that says "Children at Play"?
There you go.
See if that's gonna do it.
See if that's gonna do it.
All of a sudden, it just makes it hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's all we had to do the whole time.
Yeah, the fire department's diverting these oil tankers just to spray it down to see what'll happen. I
feel like only Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck can save us from this lava.
Or what was the other
Tommy
one?
Lee Jones.
Or Tommy Lee Jones.
What was the other one? Dante's Peak? Was that?
Oh yeah.
Who was in that? Was that Pierce Brosnan?
I think it was Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones was in
great.
Volcano,
Was in
which
Volcano,
is when L.A. decided to sprout a volcano, and destroyed the entire city.
What about Tom Hanks?
Joe versus.
That's all I got. That's all I know is the title. So I'm hoping he stops.
That should be your artwork for Geek Stuff 500.
It's just
Big Kev versus the volcano.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
and
go.
have just somebody pushing Kevin into the.
No, the artwork should be a house going down a river of lava, and then a phone rings, and then Kevin going to pick it up, and he falls into the lava like happened.
So much fun to be had there.
So much fun.
Moving on to TV and the movies. If you look at the box office for this past week, Infinity War is at number 1. No surprise. Well over $1 billion.
Yeah, it's 1.2, I think, at this point, right?
1.2.
Still not Rampage's week. Thought it. In my head, I thought it was gonna do it.
Still at number 1. Number 2 is Overboard, the remake of the 1980s classic of Goldie Hawn and
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, correct.
Wait, that was number 2? I didn't even heard of that.
Yeah, it's horrible. They switched the role because it stars Anna Faris, and they switched the roles. It's the guy that falls overboard now instead of the girl, and
it just shows that no one watched anything else except Infinity War.
Right. So
Yeah,
that
seriously.
was number 2. Number 3, still holding strong. A Quiet Place is doing incredibly well with $151 million. Good for
That means that they're gonna make so many shitty sequels to it.
So,
not
and it's gonna be
sequels.
awful.
You're going to get bad rip-offs of it.
A quieter
Both.
place.
a slightly less noisy place. The quiet car. So
It's a haunted train car that doesn't stop.
Everyone's just like, shh.
so Infinity War is at 1.2 billion, and it still hasn't opened in China.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
nuts.
a juggernaut.
Because it can't fit through the bars.
That's it. Thanos is having a hard time getting through the bars. That's all Cap had to
Oh my
do.
God! The Chinese version is he can't get the Soul Stone because he can't fit through the bars, and that's where the movie just ends. He's sitting on the curb behind the bars, just like the ending.
All sullen.
All sullen. He didn't get to achieve his goal.
What's happening to Trevor over there? Is he dying?
Yes.
His head's gonna explode.
It is.
Is it the alien in Quiet Place? Oh wait, my bad. I ruined that for you guys. Sorry.
Number 4 is I Feel Pretty, the Amy Schumer joint, and then number 5 is Rampage, still holding on.
See, Rampage is still. Where's Black Panther? 6?
Probably 6.
Yeah.
Did you see that article that they were attributing like Disney's receiving record profits just based on the Black Panther movie?
No, I mean that article's insane.
Well,
I mean, no offense to Black Panther, it certainly helps, but
I think if I read the article, if I read the right article, I think what it meant was that they're receiving record profits because it opened more of the black community to other Disney properties. from that.
Maybe, but I mean they've had
it was crossing a huge threshold and opening a big door for them.
Thor was this year too, right? Was Thor 2018 or was Thor 2017?
2017.
Okay.
Thor was last summer.
Ragnarok was last summer.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
So I guess Black Panther was the first big one. They had Infinity War. They have Solo coming up,
on the 25th,
right? And they have Ant-Man and Wasp still
in
a couple
July?
weeks. Yeah.
Are they July or June?
It might be. I thought it was June.
All right,
but
well,
I
it's
might
still
be
coming
mistaken.
up.
Yeah.
And then they're done for the year with Marvel. And
Yes.
then Marvel
and Star Wars. They're done for the year after Solo.
And Marvel picks up again in March of next year for Captain Marvel.
Correct.
Yeah. Well,
What's crazy is like Marvel makes more money than countries have. Like,
Yeah.
so like in a weekend.
Yeah.
So
It's insane.
recently, at the time of this podcast, Bob Iger, the head of the Disney Corporation,
Right.
CEO, had a little press release he was talking to the investors and doing those updates, but he had a little press release where he was talking about what's coming for the next stage of Marvel. And
Right.
he was saying, look, it's like we didn't reach the end of the Marvel storyline, so don't count them out, meaning they're going to expand into other franchises under Marvel, but the Avengers somewhere down the line will be back again doing it. So this isn't the complete end for any Avengers storyline.
No, of course not.
Well, people were wondering because all these other properties that they're going to explore now, at least the ones that we know about, at least, a lot more involving space and magic rather than, human beings getting superpowers on Earth. But he did also state that they have the next 10 years. They haven't released it yet, but they know what they're doing for the next 10 years, where it's going, and they've released. They released the dates that they reserved all the way through 2022 for releases. They're all untitled, unknown, but they reserved the release dates. A little bit of a hint, not that they were waiting on some other things, which a lot of people thinking is the Fox Disney deal.
Sure.
There's a lot of other things that are pointing that this is almost coming to an end pretty soon. One being did you see the letter that Deadpool put out?
I did,
that
yeah.
mocked the Avengers notice that was coming on there, but on the top the letterhead's crossed out and it says TBD.
Yeah.
Which was really funny because even he's waiting to jump ship to go They had the poster where he was being arrested at the Magic Kingdom, where they have him cuffed and then dragging him out from Cinderella's castle.
The promotion for Deadpool is just brilliant again.
Right.
Again.
Well, all right, let's go into some of the Deadpool stuff then here. The stuff that's been released just in the last week. The David Beckham promo.
Right.
Did you see this
I
one?
did. That was today, I think.
David Beckham is sitting in his living room, and he's rewinding this one little part of Deadpool, the original movie, over and over, where he says... He's like, he said something about David Beckham. It's like a man whose voice is sucked into a helium can or something like that. They played it over and over, and he's getting texts, like insane texts to his phone from Deadpool saying, "I'm sorry, forgive me," kissy faces and stuff. Then he's knocking at the door, and it's a whole series of closing the door, opening the door with different ways that Deadpool's trying to get David Beckham to forgive him. The second one, he's sitting there with a whole bunch of balloons, and he's high on helium. And David Beckham's looking at him, and he just goes, in a real high voice, he goes, "Too soon?" "Yeah, way too soon," as the door slams into his face. And then a little bit later, he's wearing a football club Canadian jersey, and he has tickets to the World Cup.
Tickets for the Cup.
I can't wait to not watch Italy play the Netherlands.
I can't stay mad at you.
Healing hugs. Here we go. Oh, God, finally, that feels so good. You smell amazing, like cinnamon and manhood. Let's never let go. No, we should let go. Let's let go of this burden together. Just wonderful. No. Okay.
What was you apologising for anyway?
Well, just the bit in Deadpool with the voice.
Doesn't ring a bell.
What did you think I was apologizing for?
I mean, there's a list. Green Lantern, R.I.P.D.
Horrible.
Selfless.
Terrible.
Blade Trinity.
Oof.
Boltneck.
Boltneck was a masterpiece!
David, I'm so sorry. I yelled, I raised my voice, I lost control. Please open up.
And then it just cuts into another soft 70s AC song where they're just sitting on the couch looking at each other, and it says Deadpool 2 coming. So
it's hilarious.
So there's that. And then they release the Celine Dion music video for this song called Ash. And, you know, in what should be a Celine Dion style video, she's belting out this really well-written, orchestrally performed song on a grand stage to an empty theater. So it's just the orchestra and her. She's performing, and then all of a sudden Deadpool's sitting backstage, starts walking out onto the stage, and starts doing this like very graceful ballerina
ballet,
set,
modern dance.
and he's
in these huge heels.
Yeah, in these big black heels, looking almost like Flashdance, almost like Fame. It's like all these movies together. While she's just performing, he's dancing all around her, and then it comes to an end. I think I have it right
and
here.
And he's like, he says something to her about having to do it again.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I have right here. I want to play this part for you here.
Celine! That was amazing! That was the most beautiful performance I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you. We need to do it again.
Okay. Why?
Well, it's too good. Yeah, this is Deadpool 2, not Titanic. All right, you're at like an 11. We need to get you down to a 5, 5.5 tops. Just phone it in.
Listen, this thing only goes to 11. So beat it, Spider-Man.
God, I should have asked NSYNC.
Yeah, so it's really good. So check out the video for that. This multi-layering promotion is not just
Joey Fatone.
Not just recuts of trailers. He's doing unique properties. He did stuff for the Australian Tourist Board. He did stuff for why Canada wasn't included in some kind of European function. And he's saying there. What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, he does this whole video about being pro-Canada and that Canada's going to show up there because he's like, all we know how to do is apologize and apologize hard. And he's threatening that they're all going to just invade Europe and take over whatever this event thing is there. Go ahead.
On the Daredevil 1 Blu-ray,
right?
Did they have
Daredevil?
Deadpool,
right?
How dare you,
I know,
sir?
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Did they put all the promos and commercials and stuff on there?
I have it. I don't know. I have to go look at it.
I don't know. I don't remember either. They absolutely should. I
watch it.
I absolutely want like the Celine video, the Beckham commercial. Like I want all of that. I want to own it all. It should be on the DVD as like bonus material.
Well, multi-layer promotions, Deadpool is just killing it because they constantly are doing weird out of the side of the box things. He did something for some medical board where he's doing some funny stuff while he's sitting on a pool table at a bar and telling about a serious PSA about guys to check their testicles for testicular cancer. And then it cuts to the other side where he's sitting on the pool table and starts telling women about how to check themselves. He goes, but you know what? Watch this, because he won't touch the female stuff. Yeah. And then they put an actual medical video in the middle, and then it comes back to him. And he goes, that was informative. You know, because he's like, I'm not doing anything with that, but I'll sit here and introduce it. But so all these different layers of what he's been doing for Deadpool has been amazing.
Ryan Reynolds must be just enjoying life,
because he fought so hard to get that movie made.
Point. But it's him.
They leaked it.
The finger,
It's his character.
It's
though.
just him. Like,
if he was dressed like Deadpool in Van Wilder, it would be like the same thing,
right?
You know?
Dead Wilder.
Yeah, it was made. It really is kismet. It was made to be. It was meant to be.
There's even a line there too, and it's like they can't even make. I don't know what they're talking about, but it says. It's like, how are they going to do a third one? They can't. I know. We just killed it at 2. You know?
It'd be great if they ended Deadpool 2 like Clue with 3 different endings.
That would be awesome.
And that's how it could have ended.
He does the Wayne's World ending.
Come back in time.
Yeah. Him and Colossus are sitting on a Davenport in the basement.
Well, he did the first Bueller's ending the first time, so he'll have something.
He also put out a piece too. We were saying, he's like, hey, look, the film is now starting to be screened at premieres and by reviewers, and he was coming out saying, please do not reveal the surprises that are in here. Let people enjoy it. So the fact that they're doing that, there must be some big stuff that's going to be revealed in the movie.
I almost want the day before the movie to open, him to just tweet all of the spoilers from the movie himself. It would be genius.
I want to thank everyone at Rotten Tomatoes not letting everyone know that Cable dies in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, like that would just be a brilliant move. Anyhow,
I have my ticket. I'm going to see it.
Nice. I don't know when I'm going to see it. I'll try to see it.
I have my Movie Pass, so hopefully they're still in business next week, so I can go see it.
Well, there's that Movie Pass. All right, let's talk about that real quick before we get to Rick and Morty. Movie Pass. Gittles has been a part of that.
Proud supporter.
Yeah, proud supporter of this service for a while.
Flip-flopping all over the
where
place.
They were, you were allowed to see as many movies as you want during the month. Then it got reduced to 4 movies for the month. And then it got put back to, no, we're going back to the other plan. And then all of a sudden, another company saying, hey, we're going to do what Movie Pass does. We're going to rip you directly off and do the same exact thing. Where is Movie Pass now?
Movie Pass apparently is just hemorrhaging money. And I don't know, like, I feel like there's something weird going on where maybe they're not hemorrhaging money, but maybe people are putting that out there because they want it to fail because it's taking away a lot of money from movie theaters. You know what I mean? Like, someone's actively, I think
someone at AMC is like
trying to kill. Well, I think someone's trying to kill Movie Pass. I think that's what it is.
It's a conspiracy.
So you like?
I mean, I'm sure they're having financial problems, but I'm also sure that like it's being amplified because like the movie companies want it to die. They want people to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to invest in this service. I'm not going to sign up for it if it's hemorrhaging money. You know what I mean?
Well, I wonder how Movie Pass is tracked as far as box office sales go. Like, if you use your Movie Pass to buy or to watch a movie, does that still count as the revenue towards the box office? It must.
When I get my ticket, it says. Yeah, when I get my ticket, it says Movie Pass ticket, but it also says $13 on it.
Yeah, so but the truth is the matter,
and that's not what you're paying for the ticket,
right?
No,
right.
So, but
so it's like a Groupon almost.
But the movie theaters never make a ton of money on actual ticket sales. All the money is made from concession. So that's what AMC's gamble was. They were like, well, if we could fill the seats,
they'll be doing the concession.
We'll make money on concession. So maybe they're not getting the concession revenue that they were hoping to get. I don't know.
Well, no, they're just saying that like that Movie Pass is paying out more money than they're taking in because I feel like the movie theaters are still charging them full price for the movies. Like they're not getting a Groupon deal. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I don't know how their financials work. Like I honestly don't know how it works. But everything that I read that comes out is just like, oh, some guy audited them and checked it out and said that like they're hemorrhaging money and all this stuff. But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it could be.
I don't know.
The service used to be $50 a month, now it's $10. So
so that's
be a deal.
That's probably.
I mean, and the thing is, I would pay the $50. It's still worth it.
Right? Yeah, of course. If you see just like 3 or 4 movies, it's worth it. If you see one movie a week, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, if you see one movie a month right now for the $90
for $10.
Yeah, for $10, it's worth it.
Right.
So,
but at $50, you would have to see at least 3 or 4 movies a month, one a week, to make it worth it. I would think.
Yeah, and if you have a lot of free time and you want to go to the movies, you can totally make it happen.
I think it would just save Eric a whole bunch of problems if he got the movie pass.
I don't know. I think
anything.
it would compound his problems so much.
Yeah.
Every day.
I mean,
there's an issue.
I'm actually really proud I wasn't here last week that you saw Infinity Wars like you did, but the fact that you texted us saying, oh, I accidentally bought 2 different tickets.
No, I didn't buy the 2 different tickets. That was the thing.
He thought he did, but it turns out he didn't.
Back when I went to go see Black Panther, somebody left their printout for their Avengers ticket. It was just in that little.
So you took
slot.
someone else's ticket?
Well, all my stuff printed out and dropped into the little slot that you pull the tickets out of. Theirs was in the bottom that I didn't realize, and I thought it was my ticket. So I was like, oh damn. So when I go to the movie theater, I get to the theater, I realize my ticket says Sunday, not Saturday, and I paid for the Saturday ticket. So I went and slide my card into the machine. It prints out my ticket. So I'm like, I have 2 Avengers tickets. So I had somebody else's ticket the whole time. It wasn't even mine. That's what it was.
Did you go the next day and try to?
No, I didn't.
Give that person, but no. So they got screwed.
No, I was gonna go again for a second time, which I still want to go to see Avengers again for a second time, but I didn't wind up going. I just threw the ticket out.
Okay.
It was what it was.
You didn't just give it to a small child somewhere and be like, here you go, here's your golden ticket. I was like, nah, garbage.
Nope, right in the garbage. I was like, couldn't
That's
be
nice.
bothered. Solo comes out on the 25th. You have, I'll see it, but I'm not excited.
I think
about
it looks awesome. That the latest snippet that they dropped, where Han and Lando meet for the first time, it looks great. I think Aldrin Eldrick, whatever the fuck his name is, I think he's going to do
Langdon Alger.
Yeah, that guy. No, I think he's going to do a great job as Solo. I really do. I think Donald Glover is going to be amazing as Lando.
Right.
He's been crushing everything this
yeah.
week. Oh, God.
Jesus.
His SNL stuff to his
His
Childish
SNL
Gambino.
stuff was really good.
Yeah.
When he made fun of A Quieter Place, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, Kanye
Yeah, that
plays.
was
Oh,
really
my
good.
God.
Yeah. And then,
Fucking
the
awesome.
music video this week. And,
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah,
is America.
This is America
so,
got
yeah.
a lot of attention.
Man.
Real quick on that, I watched TMZ and they asked him because people were kind of conflicted on what the message of the video is.
Okay.
And Donald Glover said, he goes, "It's not for me to interpret; it's for you guys to interpret."
Which I think that's his way of
Ducking what he really means so he doesn't get in trouble?
No, because I don't think he's afraid of getting in trouble. If he was
Okay.
afraid of getting in trouble, he wouldn't have never made the video. I think that he wants you to think about it. I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
he
exactly
I don't
what it
think he
is.
wants to share all the Easter eggs. He wants you to watch it 10 times and say, "Oh shit, I missed Death on the Pale White Horse the
Yeah.
first few times I watched it."
Oh,
I get it. All the car doors are open, and that's significant of police brutality. Like, I think he wants you to really watch it and digest it. I've watched it at least. First of all, I happen to actually like the song. I think it's pretty good. But I've watched it at least a dozen times. Probably.
I apparently need to
just
think,
watching.
I watched it only once. And
It's
I missed
great.
Everything that you just said.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I guess I gotta
Dude,
watch
there
it
is so much.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
one of those
so
things you got to
dense.
watch it several times.
The
and
guy
then
that
you'll catch
commits
something new.
suicide and everybody just walks away. He hands a gun to a little kid who wipes
Yeah.
the prints off it and runs away. It's like so much shit.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but see the whole
so hypnotized by his dance.
but that's
the point in
that's
it
the
too.
point.
That's
The point is that the point is
He's
that
Jamiroquai dancing to hypnotize you while all this horrific stuff's going on.
the point is that we get so caught up in the flash that the
You're
shit going
missing-
on
yeah.
in the background just gets lost, and you don't pay attention to all the horrible things that are going on.
Dude,
that's kind of
that
like
scene where he's up in front and the chorus is in the back on the
Oh,
risers
yeah.
there, and it's like, wow, this is great. And then he just turns around and wipes them all out. And you're like,
oh, it's
what?
Great. It's a great
But
video.
I mean, that happened
It's a
in
great
South Carolina.
video. It's
no, I know,
mean,
but
that's-
it's
yeah.
just
Did?
amazing. The church.
It's a great video.
Dylan Roof.
It's got an intense message.
I don't watch the news. It's depressing, but I should really pay attention more.
Well, it's a very interesting video,
But,
both
yeah, look
artistically
it
and
up.
musically. You should definitely
Look it
check
up.
that out.
He's great,
and he's
man.
great
He's
as
fucking
Lando
genius.
in,
Yes.
in Solo. That seems to be the big push for it now. Everyone's saying how great he is as Lando in the movie.
I love how they retconned. So in Empire, when Lando and Han reconnect on Cloud City, and he calls him Han,
Yeah.
right? So in the very first meeting, they show it in this most recent clip. He calls him Han, and
Oh, nice.
Han corrects him.
Yeah.
and it's kind of like this animosity.
Little
So it
dig.
retcons it back to Empire, where it's like, oh, he's just doing it to rib him, to be a
He's
dick.
been a dick.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay, I like when they do stuff like that. I
Yeah.
like when they kind of like do that.
acknowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stand up, slow clap.
Well,
Yeah.
if you like stuff like that, we're not going to have time to talk about it, but we can do it next week. Cobra Kai, is a whole bunch of stuff.
Good.
It's so well planned out and so well.
I still gotta watch it.
And it got renewed today for a second season.
And I found out it got renewed before the official announcement because somebody on Twitter, look up my Twitter account, and see who wrote me. Somebody on Twitter and posted a photo and he goes, "They're shooting right near where I work."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I guess there's a season 2," and then a day later, season 2. I'm like, so this guy saw them filming.
Hilarious,
So we can talk about Cobra Kai next week.
Yeah, we should.
It'll give you enough time to catch up and watch
I'll be able to
everything else
catch up.
because there's so many great things about that
It's
miniseries.
so well written. I couldn't believe how well written it was.
So we'll get into that next week. A couple other things just to keep you aware of. Bill and Ted 3 official. Alex Winter announced it.
Bill and Ted Face the Music.
He said, we're tuning up the air guitars, and everyone went, what? And then like an hour later, the release came out that tied into that Entertainment Weekly photo, which is amazing too.
Yeah.
That it is officially happening. Bill and Ted number 3.
Thank you, Keanu.
So that is
It's
happening.
both of them. Alex Winters really wanted to do it for quite some
Alex
time.
No, I know
wanted
he
to-
did, and
Yeah.
so I felt like Keanu was kind of couldn't.
Well, Keanu got too famous.
Yeah.
And he had too many other things going on.
Yeah, but like I also like he never was like I'd do it if it was right, but like now that he's like finally like I'm ready, let's go.
So we're excited about that.
My god, I have it still on VHS.
It's
both
great.
of those.
I even like the second one.
Well, and the plot
Bogus
is like
Journey
them
was fun.
trying to write the song.
Yeah,
It's the fact that
The song that brings universal peace.
Yeah, the
Correct.
song
Yeah.
that they come back from the future at the end of Bill and Ted 2. Like
they look
Bill
like
and Ted
ZZ
3 is
Top.
them writing that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's just them doing the air guitar. Yeah, it
But
shows
wasn't the
30 years
song-
later they still never achieved what
Right.
Rufus said they were going to achieve.
Wasn't the song Kisses God Gave Rock and Roll to You?
That's
Was
that's
that
what
the
they
song?
That's what they just played at the end of the Battle of the Bands.
Oh, that wasn't
Yeah,
the
that wasn't the
Universal
song.
Oh, that wasn't the song that brought Universal Peace.
No, nothing.
One of my favorite lines. I got to rewatch Bill and Ted's 2, but one of my favorite lines is when they're in the future, and he talks. I forgot the guy's name from Faith No More, and he's walking past. And he goes,
Mike
"Oh,
Patton?
no, it wasn't Mike Patton. It was another guy." And he goes,
No,
"Oh,
it's what's his name? Martin. The guy that dropped out of Faith No More.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't hold on.
He's the head of the Faith No More Religious Society, and he's still dressed in the in the outfit for Faith.
Jim
No
Martin,
More.
that's it.
Yeah, there you go. So
when he
I'm gonna have
talks
to
to
go watch
God
that.
and he just quotes poison.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
say something new, dude.
If there was a Faith No More religious society, I'd probably join it. They're one of my favorite bands. Like, I fucking love Faith No More. I love Mike Patton. Anything he does, I would totally join any of that society.
Next week we can talk about this because the trailer just came out today, the new Predator trailer. The amount of people that are in this movie is insane. But we'll get.
Was it like the Expendables for Predator?
No, not major action stars, but just a lot of names
And they're
that are in
swimming
this
in
thing
feces.
here, which is
People
not
have
a good
names.
sign because it's not like Avengers or Expendables where you know why there's a million people in it. When they got to shove a bunch of names into a movie, you know that it needed help.
It felt like a Transformers movie, but with Predator.
And Fred Savage.
Well, apparently
is.
it's a continuation.
Savage.
It's the continuity of the first two movies, so it's not a full reboot.
Right, correct.
So I don't know does it have. Did it happen like in a different part of the world while the other two were happening?
They come back and they're like like absorbing other creatures' DNAs, and there's like some sort of hybrid. I don't fucking know. It looks like crap.
Well, and there's that scene where like the Predator like walks into that house and Chris Hansen there, and he's like, "Take a seat."
Oh, Gittles.
Oh.
You're such a lark.
So we can talk about that next week. TV updates for you. Westworld Season 2 is just getting crazier and crazier.
I have not watched
I have to
anything
catch up.
since the first episode.
Me too. I'm saving it for the. I got a lot on
Yeah.
the plane. I'm going to try to knock
All right,
out.
so I can't
some
tell you
plane
anything
stuff
about that.
Nope,
If you're not
you
watching
can't.
it, you should be watching Barry, Bill Hader's show.
Oh, I hear that's great.
With Stephen Root. It's amazing.
So funny.
It's a comical version of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
and
Horrific stuff's happening, but there's also a lot of funny moments while
Yeah,
it's
the
all
poster
going
looked
on.
like Funny Dexter, but I couldn't figure it out.
Funny
Yeah.
Dexter. That could be it.
that could be it. But
He's
like,
a hitman, not a serial killer. And-
I'm really
Yeah, same
happy with
thing.
how Bill Hader's handling it and doing. I didn't know how
Yeah.
he would handle a series, and he's crushing.
He feels like Alan Alda. You know when he does his Alan Alda impersonation on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
He feels like he's channeling Hawkeye.
That's hilarious.
So you watch him, it's like he feels like Alan Alda while he's doing this whole thing here. A couple other things with TV, and then we can get out of here. Fox just put out their latest news as far as what's being renewed, what's not being renewed, and what's still on the chopping block.
Right.
What hasn't been renewed yet and still awaiting? Bob's Burgers, which I loved.
Right.
Family Guy is waiting to see if
Yeah.
they're getting a 17th season. Gotham doesn't know if they're getting renewed. Lethal Weapon, I watched the first episode and I forgot to watch the rest.
Well,
of
you
it.
just heard about Lethal Weapon, right?
The showrunner or something got like
not the showrunner. The guy that plays Mel Gibson's role, they fired him.
He's gone.
And they're currently.
Oh, is that why they shot him?
They're trying to recast him.
They're going to recast him, yeah.
Wow.
So is it like, does that role make people crazy? Like, is Mel Gibson went crazy too? Like,
the guy was apparently a complete asshole.
Yeah, he
like
just
on
to
set.
everybody.
So he like totally just became fucking.
Yeah, and they fired him.
Yeah, he's like he apparently was the type of guy that's like, I only said 2 sweet and lows, and would throw the coffee at the intern or something.
Did you walk through my set? Like
exactly. Apparently, yeah. In all the prep.
Well, I had no idea. Well, all right, that's still waiting. Lucifer, which I love, is waiting to see if they can get a season 4. I really love this show. More people should be watching
Lucifer?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Constantine, and I have a feeling that it's going to
Die
off the side because it's really starting to get very good, and hopefully another network can pick it up. And the show LA to Vegas, who gives a crap about that? But what's been canceled, or at least for Fox, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Or Andy Samberg.
Yeah,
and I really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think it's a really funny show.
It was taken off on TBS. They're putting that on.
It's on Hulu. It's really funny.
That The Last Man on Earth, which just got horrible as season 1 progressed. I think it's 3 seasons in, and it's it's garbage.
And
they made 3 seasons?
Caitlin Olsen from Always Sunny had the show called The Mick. That got canceled. And New Girl, after 7 seasons, got canceled.
Yeah, but New Girl we knew was ending. We knew this was a short season.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. And the big news, and then we can get out of here, is Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Got renewed finally for season 4, but there was a little
through 10.
There was a little there was a little extra to it as we find out, renewed for season 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Adult Swim orders 70 episodes.
This is bad news. This is not good news, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I'm
not happy about this.
I kind of agree with Matt on this. Like, I would rather it be like waiting to make sure they get renewed than to be like, 70 episodes are coming, because
for so many
seems like too
reasons.
much.
First of all, I'd rather they just give us really solid storylines season after season. I'm afraid that with 70 episodes, there's going to be a lot of laziness, knowing that they have a lot of room and they already have a commitment. I'm afraid of that. And I'm also afraid of the toxic fan base.
Yeah.
Like 70 I love the show. I'm a huge fan of the show.
As we all
but
are.
I was almost at the point where I was like, I just almost wanted to just end, because the fan base is so toxic and so bad that I have a hard time seeing how the show is going to thrive in that kind of atmosphere.
I mean, the thing is, as long as like Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland like just keep writing good stuff, like, I mean, you're gonna have to deal with toxic fans everywhere. Like, people watch sports even though their fans will puke on other people. You know what I mean?
I get it, but I kind of feel like it's really weird to make that big of an announcement all at once.
Well,
and I think it's dangerous.
Maybe
in my opinion,
not a real announcement. Maybe it's just to throw people off. Maybe it's they're going to do all 70 episodes at once.
What? I was thinking that. Like,
I thought, like, in all 70 different universes.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
like
the whole episode is them jumping. Is like, oh, this is episode 4. We jumped too far ahead. Fuck. All right, next.
Or they do like 10 episodes at once and all 10 plays simultaneously on like different screens.
Yeah.
Like, that's a Rick and Morty thing they would do.
Yeah,
what
right.
I mean?
And I would watch 22 minutes of that.
Right.
And then rewatch it to see. All right, I'm going to watch Square 4 third over today.
It's 4 episodes of 10 episodes each. And, like, we fulfilled our commitment. We're done.
Yeah.
They
You
took
turn on
money
the
and
closed
ran.
captioning and the TV just shoots itself.
It just shuts down.
Is that your biggest concern about the quality, about the toxicity of the fan base, or that Kanye West just pledged his undying allegiance
Mine's
to Rick and
Kanye.
Morty?
Well, I screen capped his tweet and then I added the Spaceballs. Oh shit! There goes the planet.
Okay,
And I tweeted that
Justin
out.
Roiland responded to Kanye.
I saw
while we were doing this, and it
Yeah.
says, "Hey Kanye." Well, Kanye put this. He says, "This is the greatest news. This is my favorite show. I've seen every episode at least 5 times each." Justin Roiland just wrote, "Hey Kanye, let's hang out soon. Would love to have a good time with you because that's all that matters at this point. Existence is a blink."
I mean, that's a very Justin Roiland thing to say. Like, I've heard him on Harmontown, and he is a dark, depressing person. Like, I thought I was a dark, depressing person. Justin Roiland is a dark, depressing person.
Well, as far as the announcement and the promotion going for everything with Rick and Morty, they announced the 70 episodes. Dan Harmon posted a video of him in the shower.
Yes.
Which, if you haven't been following Dan Harmon, he's been doing a whole series of exercise video streaming on his Instagram where you watch him on the elliptical or the treadmill, and he puts a green screen behind him so you can take the video and fuck it up however you want to do it. But he'll talk to you. He'll answer questions. He'll just rattle off what's going on in his day. Well, he's in the shower, and he's just standing there like, you know when you're very tired and stressed out and you got shampoo in your hair and the soap on your face and you just stand there and don't move, you just let the water hit you? And he's just doing that for a moment. He's kind of waddling back and forth a little bit, and then all of a sudden he starts to clean his face or whatever, and as he moves back, Justin Roiland pops up in front of him, and he's covered in soap and everything, and he's like, oh, well, I guess we got to get to work. What are you talking about? We just found out. We got to get back to work. We got a job to do. Yeah. And he's like, you're always in the shower. And he goes, I know. I'm actually going to have to leave your house. He's like, but you never stand up, though.
That was the best part. That was the best part. What are you doing? I've been here the whole time, but you've never stood up before.
So there was that, and then it led into the whole Kanye thing. So Rick and Morty's making a return. They still said it's going to be a long time. So don't expect it anytime in 2018.
Well, because Harmon had previously indicated that they weren't going to write unless they had the commitment to move forward, which that makes senes.
There is a fan theory floating that the last thing we saw was Mr. Poopy Butthole dressed as Santa for around Christmas time and saying, it's going to be a long time before we're back. People are thinking that they were alluding that there will at least be a Christmas special before season 4. So who knows?
A Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. Yeah. But Rick and Morty, for anybody who is the good kind of fan of it, this is could be some good news. Matt is a bit concerned, and rightfully so.
Don't get me wrong, I'm excited.
I
have my hesitations.
Yes, we all do. With that being said, I think it's time for us to wrap up and get out of here for this week. Let's do the plugs. Matt OG, what do you have?
You can find me online, Geek Stuff OG, across most social media, I guess. And new episodes of Geek Stuff go online over at bkgeekstuff.com.
Do you want to plug the Patreon? Because we are getting into New York Comic Con season soon.
Yes, actually. So New York Comic Con, we actually have our confirmation that we will have a booth. So now it's just a matter of paying for said booth.
Right.
So join our Patreon, patreon.com/BK.
And by our booth, meaning the Geek Stuff booth, not
Yes.
Erik
Yeah,
Nagel.
sorry. The Geek Stuff
we all
booth.
put in for our passes, so we probably will be there doing press. And
everybody kind of hangs out with us.
And pretty much the Geek Stuff booth is usually our unofficial hotspot.
Sure.
Where everybody goes and asks Big Kev if he's Gittles.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Until Kevin gets annoyed.
So check out their Patreon, help them out so that they can get the table so that we can stop by and use it. What's up, Trev?
I feel like I probably should have filled out paperwork or something to go to this.
There's still time. I'll show you how to do it.
Thank you.
We'll get you a pass.
Yeah.
Gittles, what do you have?
Gittlebase on the Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live. I have a food pop-up event I'm doing this Saturday at Queen's Brewery from 3 to 8 in Ridgewood, New York. So if you want to come out, I'm going to be there making nachos and tacos and a whole bunch of good stuff. And me and Eric might be on doing some Fortnite, and I found out you can play it cross-platform. So if you don't have Xbox but you have a PC, you can play with us. So you can find a way.
Is Fortnite, or is it just PUBG that you can play on the phone as well?
No, Fortnite you play on the phone.
Okay, so if you have a phone, are they playing on the same server as us on the Xbox or the PC?
No, I mean you can play on like PC with Xbox. Like
no,
like
that I know because
I don't think you can play with the phone. I think you play the phone only with other people who are playing on the phone.
You can play.
Okay.
You can. All right, so you have to have an Epic Game account. You can play phone and PC, which is just dumb, but you can do it. But cross-platform, you can only do PC and PlayStation or PC and Xbox. You can't cross on all three yet.
All right. Well, we're still figuring it out.
You guys are.
We are. We played for the first time this week and fell down a mountain and died. So that'll tell you how great the game is. Trevor, what do you have?
BTG Trevor on Twitter. I'm going to really try to use it for next week when I'm in Europe. Otherwise, maybe I'll give out my Instagram, and we'll do it that way because I like doing it on Instagram. And Fortnite right now is doing a limited time mode. You can actually become Thanos and play as Thanos.
You can figure it out.
Gittles doesn't know how to hit the X button.
Okay.
And the only other show, by the way, that it's hard for me to watch a show consistently is Brockmire Season 2 is just as good so far as Brockmire Season 1, so check
The
that
Hank
out.
Azaria show on IFC.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, I'll do my best to update you all.
All right, for me, it's E-Rock Radio across the board on social media. For the show, it's Erik Nagel, the most important across the board for social media. Also, an update, we put all the 2018 shows for this program up on YouTube. Some people wanted the shows up on YouTube. They're all up there now, from January to this current show, all up on YouTube. We're working on getting the back catalog up there as well. So if that's an easier platform for you to discover the show, find us on YouTube. It's Erik Nagel. Otherwise, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and that's the best way to help out the show. I think that's about it, right? Going around the room.
That's it.
We're all good?
Yeah,
all right,
good.
let's get out of here. Until the next time,
be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel. And that's all the time we have. Follow the show at It's Erik Nagel on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Unless we do something stupid or something better comes along. We'll be back next time.